We live drums.
Hello, I'm Gary France. We're working on continuing our video today on the snare drum, but this is part 2 of the stance and the height of your drum. Now we discussed stance, we discussed, the appropriate equipment for the item, but let's talk about the stance. Okay, basically we let our hands hang at our side. We're going to look at grip in our next video, so let's not worry about that as much. Now, if you're eating at the table, let's say we're cutting up some food, we're eating at the table, let's say you're working at your desk, you have a comfortable feel as to where you like to work in front of you. This is sort of like my work area, right? And when we're setting our height for drumming, we should think of this in the same way. You have a part of your body, you have your shoulders and your arms, and we'll talk about the physiology and how that goes together later, but you have where you feel comfortable. Okay? So when we pick up our sticks, we basically hang our hands at our side, we let our sticks hang down from our fulcrum, which we will discuss later, and we raise it up away from a drum to a place where we feel comfortable. This is very important. We don't start by walking up to a drum and just raising up your hands like this, okay, I'm ready to play, or, okay, I'm ready to play. I see this so often, and this is the completely erroneous approach. Really, you want to have the area where you feel comfortable to start with, and then we're going to bring in the drum. Now, for today, I'm going to use a couple different drums, a couple different grips, and the practice pad, which is where our young people will start. So I've got a traditional practice pad. This is a terrific one I've had for about 20 years, made by the Remo company, and it has a nice pop sound to it. It's fun to play. You can get a variety of pads that are made out of gum rubber, natural rubber, latex rubber, vinyl, you name it. There are different kinds of products available for practice pads and for learning. And our young people often start on a practice pad, so I think it's important to get one that they like the feel and sound of. And I also think it's important that we get one that has an adjustable stand. This is so important that you don't just get your practice pad and plop it on the kitchen table. For a 7-year-old, this could be a terrible problem because they end up playing the drum like this, right? Or on the coffee table, So important that we have one that's height adjustable. Now, mom and dad, and for the music teacher out there, when you're going to do the setting up of the drums for your students, we do it in precisely the way that I showed you, and I'm going to demonstrate what I do. We set our hands away from the drum, we get comfortable here, and then we walk up to the drum. I sort of am scooching up to my drum like this, and I get up to my drum and I notice that, my hands are a little bit, I had to raise them up, right? So when we have our drum in here, let's say it's down quite low, I'm going to have my child or my student put their in a comfortable position, not look at their drum, move until your sticks are sort of in the center of your pad, and you get an idea, it's about there, so now we can raise our drum pad up to that height. Yeah, so now I'm in that comfortable position where I feel I can play the drum. Everything is equal, and it's a nice height. For me, I think that's fantastic. Now, a little interesting point about that. If we're talking match grip or traditional grip, which will be in our next video, we'll talk about the angle that everything goes at. But for now, you'll notice that I angle my drum pad just a little bit away from me. And now I'm ready to play on that drum. And that's the correct height. Thank you very much.
We live drums.